Monday, a new day, and time for learning fun. We'll read books and sing songs, learn letters one by one. And when our week is at an end, our brain will be much stronger then. So come along, let's take a seat. I have a new book buddy for you to meet. Right, hello little learners, and I have a new book buddy friend that I want you to meet. So this is my book buddy. His name is Hedgie. Now Hedgie is my book buddy because sometimes I like to read books to him and he likes to read books to me in my imagination. So if you have a book buddy, bring him along today because we have so much to do. This whole week we're going to be studying food and culture. Have you heard that word before? Culture? Culture is the things that we do or believe that might set us apart from other people. If you look around your neighborhood, you might see people that have a different skin color, maybe different hair color. Maybe they believe in a religion that's different than you. That's part of their culture. And we're going to be traveling to different countries to see what their food is like and what their culture is like. After we do that, we're going to focus on our beginning sounds like we do in our foundational skill. And I have a fun project that we're going to do together after that that involves chocolate chips. So are you ready to get our day started? Because I think I hear Miss Maria. You know, she's always on time. Oh, there she is. Here, Hedgie. I'm going to move the door. We have our letter for the day from one of our book characters. Now today's extra fun because we're going to try to guess what book that we're going to read together. So let's start reading. Do you remember where we start? Is it the left or is it the right? That's right, it's the left. Here we go. This is the left. This is the right. When we read, we start at the left and slide to the right. Okay, let's read. It says, Dear Miss Laura, it is International Day at my school. Ooh, I think I had one of those. I think that's where everyone brings something that represents their culture. I need to bring a food dish that represents my family and culture. Ooh, I was right. One problem. I have no clue what to bring. Oh, that does sound like a problem. Love, Pablo. And I think Miss Maria has our book in here that's going to tell us Pablo's story. But I thought it would be really fun if today we took a look at some clues that are going to help us guess what the book is about. Are you ready? See if you can guess. Do you know what this is? This is pan dulce. That's a Spanish word that means sweet bread. It's very sweet and delicious. You get it at panaderias, which is a Spanish word that means bakery. Our book has something to do with a bakery or a panaderia. Let's see, I also have a map. This is a map of the whole world. Of course, this map is flat because they needed to print it and our world is round. But if I remember correctly, this book has a little boy named Pablo whose family is from Mexico, right here, and New York, which is way across over here. Let's see, what else could it be about? Ooh, do you know what these guys are? Have you had one for breakfast? It looks like a donut, but it does not have frosting, but it does have the hole like a donut does. It is a bagel. Our book is definitely going to have bagels and some jam. And then one more ingredient or thing that's going to tell us about the book. Oh, this one's good. Do you know what this is? Spicy. It's a jalapeno. That's right. Have you ever had a jalapeno before? Maybe in some salsa? It's very spicy. I've seen someone eat this raw. Do not try that at home. All right. Have you guessed what our book is about? Bagels, jalapenos, people from different places, jam. Let's see if looking at the cover will help us figure it out. Our book is Jalapeno Bagels. Do you see the front cover? It's a bakery and a little boy with a big smile with a sign that says open. So we're going to watch a video story together that tells us the story of Pablo, a little boy who's looking for something to bring on International Day at school. So let's watch our video together. Jalapeno Bagels by Natasha Wing. Illustrated by Robert Casilla. What should I bring to school on Monday for International Day? I asked my mother. My teacher told us to bring something from our culture. You can bring a treat from the panaderia, she suggests. Panaderia is what Mama calls our bakery. Help us bake on Sunday, then you can pick out whatever you want. It's a deal, I tell her. Early Sunday morning, when it's still dark, my mother wakes me up. Pablo, it's time to go to work, she says. We walk down the street to the bakery. My father turns on all the lights. My mother turns on the ovens. She gets out the pans and ingredients for pan dulce. Pan dulce is Mexican sweetbread. I help my mother mix and knead the dough. She shapes rolls and loaves of bread and slides them into the oven. People tell her she makes the best pan dulce in town. Maybe I'll bring pan dulce to school, I tell her. Next we make empanadas de calabaza, pumpkin turnovers. I'm in charge of spooning the pumpkin filling. Some customers come to our bakery just for Mama's turnovers. Mama asks, ready to make chango bars? Chango means monkey man. Mama lets me pour in the chocolate chips and nuts, and when she's not looking, I pour in more chocolate chips. My father calls from the back room, Pablo, come help me with the bagels. My papa speaks English and Yiddish. He learned Yiddish from his family in New York City. First, he makes the dough in a big metal bowl. Then he rolls it out into a long rope shape. He cuts off pieces and shows me how to connect the ends in a circle. We put the circles on trays where they sit and rise. When the bagel dough is risen, he boils the bagels in a huge pot of water and fishes them out with a long slotted spoon. Maybe I could bring sesame seed bagels with cream cheese to International Day, I said. No lox? Lox is smoked salmon. My father's favorite bagel is pumpernickel with a smear of cream cheese and lox. I crinkle my nose. Lox taste like fish. Jam is better. My mother joins us and helps my father make another batch of bagels, jalapeno bagels. My parents use their own special recipe. While Papa kneads the dough, Mama chops the jalapeno chiles. She tosses them into the dough and adds dried red peppers. We roll, cut, make circles, and let them rise. I can't wait until they're all done because I am getting hungry. Have you decided what you're going to bring to school? Asks Mama. It's hard to choose. Everything is so good, I tell her. I look at Papa, except for lox. You should decide before we open, warns Mama, or else our customers will buy everything up. I walk past the sweetbreads, chango bars, and bagels. I think about my mother and my father and all the different things they make in the bakery. And suddenly, I know exactly what I'm going to bring. Jalapeno bagels, I tell my parents, and I'll spread them with cream cheese and jam. Why jalapeno bagels? Asked Papa. Because they're a mixture of both of you, just like me. The end. So did you like that story? Jalapeno bagels. Who would have thought those two things go together? Now in this story, Pablo realizes that jalapeno bagels best represent him, and he's going to take those to International Day. Today, I wore a traditional dress that represents my culture, which is Mexican. That's Mexican culture is what I belong to. So I hope that you have something in your house that represents who you are and what you believe in and do with your family and the people around you. So we're going to switch gears right now, still talking about jalapeno bagels, but we are going to sort beginning sounds because you know I love sharing books with you, but I can't wait for the day until you read me a book. You can even stop me on the street. Miss Laura, I have a book to read to you. I would love that. Okay, we're going to look at different bagels, and we're going to pick out the things that start with the letter P. Now, do you remember what sound the letter P makes? It makes a p, p, p sound like puttering, p, p, p. Now, I'll give you a clue. There's only two things here that start with a P, and we're going to put it on this P plate. Are you ready? Let's look at the first one. Now, do you recognize what Pablo is doing here? Now, Pablo starts with P, but he's doing something there. He's kneading the dough. That's when you kind of squish it together and pound it down with your hands. So does kneading start with a P sound? No, we're going to leave that bagel off the plate. Let's look at this one. This jalapeno bagel has a pumpkin. Pumpkin. Does pumpkin start with a P sound? It does. The first bagel to go on our plate. Let's see. Oh, from the story. This is a special kind of fish. It's called lox. Now let's look at that. Beginning sound, lox. Oh, does that sound like p, p? No, does not go on the plate. How about this one? Also from the story, a bakery. Do you remember in Spanish, it does start with a P. It's panaderia. But bakery in English does not start with a P. It stays off the plate. Let's do a few more. How about this one? It's a, oops, here we go. Bagels, you don't want to be eaten today. Let's put that back up. And let's get this one. It is a one that doesn't want to come off. There we go. A pot. Pot. All right, does that start with p? It does. Let's put it back up here. So far we have pumpkin and a pot that start with P. Let's hope this stays up there with some magic. Oh, it does not want to. That's okay, boys and girls, because right now it's time for something else that starts with a P, our P project, and I have a special surprise for you. You know, I always like to think when things start falling apart, the best thing you can do is have some chocolate. It's my absolute favorite. So I have a little treat for you that has chocolate in it. It is Chongo bars. Do you remember that from the story? Chongo bars really mean monkey bars in Spanish, but we call them Monkey Man. So I have the recipe from the book that I'm going to share with you. Let's see if you have the book. The recipe is on the very back. So let's see if we have our ingredients. I need a half a cup of butter that's melted right here. And then I need 2 cups of brown sugar, which is what I have here, 3 eggs, I have my eggs here, flour, baking powder, chocolate chips, yum, and some salt. So we're gonna mix all of our ingredients together to make Chongo bars. So let's first mix our wet ingredients. So I'm going to take our butter and we're going to add 3 eggs. So here we go. I'm going to crack the eggs on the side here. Now, of course, I like to remind you that cooking with your family is an important literacy skill. That's how I really learned how to follow directions and learn different vocabulary words as I'm cooking with my grandma or mom. She used to show me how to make tortillas de harina, which is flour tortillas in Spanish. Ooh, that's really good. In the story that we'll read tomorrow, there's a bread that's similar to a tortilla that they made there. It always makes me hungry to see it. So I'm going to mix that up. Ooh, I love mixing it. Following recipes and cooking, it involves a lot of chemistry because you have to see how things react together. What is their texture? This one's kind of ooey and gooey. Ooh, look at that egg. But when it's done and baked, it's going to be delicious. All right, after that, we're going to mix up our dry ingredients. And here's where I'm going to need your help. I'm going to put my bowl here. The first thing we're going to need is, let's look, 2 cups of flour. So I have my flour here, and we're going to pour it in my measuring cup right here. Here goes 2 cups. We're going to fill it up to the top there. There we go, 2 cups of flour. And we're going to put them there, ooh, almost perfectly. See? There we are, 2 cups of flour, and I need a teaspoon of salt. Now, have you ever seen these in your kitchen? They're little measuring spoons. You have to look for the one that has the number 1 on it and the letters TSP. You can have a parent help you with that. And then we're going to open it up, and I'm actually going to grind some salt into my spoon here, or maybe directly into the bowl. I have been cooking for a good while, not very good at it, but I do know that you can, take away. You can't take away salt, but you can add. So I always like to add just a little bit. Next, we're going to add our baking powder. This will help it rise. This one does need to be exact. So I need 1 tablespoon. That's this guy right here. I'm going to put it in. And there we go. And that's all of our dry ingredients. Oh, almost forgot sugar. We need the brown sugar. Brown sugar right here. We need a lot of sugar. A lot of sugar plus chocolate. Oof. I don't think this has any calories, so that's what I'm going to tell myself. Here we go. All right, let's put the 2 cups in there. Here goes the sugar. Next, we're going to give it a good mix before we add the wet ingredients. Now, in this story, Pablo made bagels and he made chango bars, but I thought this one was a good one for us to try because with bagels, you actually have to boil the dough. All right, that looks pretty well mixed. What color do you see there? Is it brown like the brown sugar, white like the flour, or is it a mixture of both? Now we're going to add the wet ingredients. Here we go. We're going to pour them in slowly as we mix them up. Here we go. Is the texture changing? It's starting to become more of a solid as it mixes with the flour. All right, let's get that there. All mixed together. And I'm actually going to switch over to a whisk. A whisk is a tool that looks like this. And we're going to mix it up until you don't see any more lumps. You could use a machine for this, and you'll actually get a much smoother consistency. It's going to be much smoother than what I'm doing here. All right, here we go. What do you guys think? Is that looking pretty delicious? My daughter, when she's at home and we're baking, she likes to stick her finger right in there, and I tell her, ew, it's raw eggs. Don't eat that. But I also like to do that too. All right, here we go. That's about the right consistency. You can see there's not a lot of lumps in there. It's pretty smooth. Next, we're gonna add my favorite part, which is the chocolate chips. Let's put them in. In our story, Pablo was told to add 2 cups, but did he listen? No, he added many, many more. So we're gonna add a few chocolate chips. What do you think, is that enough? No, we have to add more. Let's see. Oh, that's good. My favorite thing in the world, some chocolate chips. I might just add a few more. Maybe a few more after that, like Pablo. And then we're gonna mix it all up. All right, let's see. Ooh, I see there's still some flour at the bottom. So I hope that you get to make some Chongo bars at home with your family. Cooking like this adds to the enjoyment children feel in connection to the book that they're reading. So I love to introduce different recipes in my classroom that go along with the story. So next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you a little tip, and I think I just have enough time for it. You're gonna wanna put it in a tin like this or something small and square, because they do rise. And I learned this great tip. So when you have your butter, don't throw away the things that go around it. You're going to want to just kind of butter your dish like this and save the butter. All the way around. Gets a little messy. Make sure you get the edges. Sometimes I use spray. I just spray it all around. We're going to do a little bit more. Here we go. There we are. And we're going to add our Chongo bars right in there. Now, of course, I don't have an oven here where I can bake them for you, but I do promise I will bring them back on Thursday's episode, and we'll give them a taste test. All right, here we go. All right. Here we are. Oof. It's a lot of butter, a lot of sugar, some chocolate chips, and a lot of deliciousness. So I hope that you give this recipe a try. Like I said, you bake it in the oven. You're gonna bake it at 350 until you feel like the center is kind of done, or about 10 to 12 minutes, whichever comes sooner. So I hope that you do give it a try, and let me tell you what we're gonna do with the rest of our time together this week before I move to our ABC song. So this week we're learning all about food and culture. Today we studied Pablo, whose parents were from New York and Mexico. Tomorrow we're going to study a little girl named Layla, who is from Pakistan, and we're going to do some painting with some spices. So our painting or our drawing, whatever it is we decide to do, is going to smell just like I imagine the book smells. Oh, I can't wait to share it with you. All right, boys and girls, looks like our time is coming to an end. Let me reach over and grab my alphabet cards. Here they come. I'm missing 2 letters. Here we are. Let's sing our song. Here we go. A, B, see you later. D, E, F, G, I'm gonna miss ya. H, I, have to go now. J, K, bye-bye now. L, M, ooh, don't go in there. N, oh, I had a good time. P, Q, are you gonna miss me? S, T, you are my best friend. V, W, X, Y, Z. That's right, you're my very best friend, boys and girls. And that Z means that I'm going to Z you tomorrow for some more adventures and fun. So I hope until then that you read and play and use your 5 senses just like a scientist, because remember, scientists are those that explore the world around them. There's so much to see and do. And don't forget to reach out to someone who may look a little different from you. Just reach out and see, what is their culture? Is it the same as yours? Do they do things differently? What can you learn from each other? All right, Miss Lara sends you a big squeeze and a big smooch. Mwah. And if you want to read the story with me tomorrow, I'm reading Layla in Saffron. And we're going to introduce a big shawl. And I'm still going to wear the flower in my head. I'm going to have Hedgie the hedgehog with me. So bring a book buddy with you. Read with me, play with me, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, boys and girls, goodbye.